Hey, this is Mark Goldberg. I seem to like making most of my videos in the kitchen, and today we're going to polish a Rolex Deep Sea Sea Dweller James Cameron Blue Edition. And quick wristwatch check, here it is. It's on my wrist right now. Look, I did it all in one take. I'm so proud. Anyway, I got a story to tell you about this watch. Let's get right into the video now. So I try not to get too crazy about watches. Well, all right, look, I'm completely crazy about watches, I guess. But what I mean is I try not to worry about marking them up. Look, my little dog likes this watch too. So they're tool watches, especially this one. And this is my utter favorite, is the Deep Sea Sea Dweller James Cameron Edition with that half blue dial. I take it everywhere. I lume it up. I take it into the barn with me. It's completely gorgeous. Here we're going to have a look around the watch. But boy, I didn't own this sucker for more than maybe a week when I gouged it pretty good or scratched it up on a metal dog crate. I'm a dog trainer and I'm kind of poking my hands in and out of kennels all the time. So this thing got banged up pretty good, and you'll see it on the other side. It's right on the flank. So here it's coming up right now, and it's to the right side of the helium release valve. When you get in there, you'll have a look, and we'll get some bigger pictures of this shortly. But it looked like a scrape or a gouge that ran all the way along that side of the watch. And I as much as I tried to ignore it, I got to say it made me crazy. The really disheartening thing about this particular scrape that we'll get in, much closer and have a look at right now, the disheartening thing about it was that it happened real shortly after I got the watch. I was so excited that I was wearing it, regardless of what I was doing, and I was getting dogs in and out of the kennels, and so I must have given it a good big long scrape, as you can see right here. And I really did try and ignore it, but eventually it started to grate on me. Here, we'll take a closer look on it. And I, the thing is that, man, the watch is new. I couldn't see getting it polished. The lugs are super sharp. Everything about it is really great. But look at that scratch. It's just kind of ugly, and it bugged me. What I really didn't want to do was I just absolutely didn't want to get this thing professionally polished, because I'm aware that kind of destroys a lot of the collectability, which brings me to the Cape Cod Cloth. Now, recently I made a video where I polish up the center links, the polished center links on my Batman. So have a look at that video, and I got a little bit more in touch with my crafty side, the do-it-yourself side of me, and I decided to have a go at this scratch. At this point, I want to mention I'm not going to be covering the precise technique of how to rub out a scratch. I already did that in another video, so please subscribe to my channel and then go back and look for my video, a recent one, on polishing the Rolex GMT. And there I kind of walk you step by step and literally show you how I rub the scratches out of that thing. But in this case, what I did was I used a real small section of the cloth, as I'm showing you there. And because the scratches are in these little pinpoint areas, the ballpoint pen was so that I could get on top of and apply pressure to the Cape Cod cloth and just kind of work it back and forth and in little circles right on the gouges themselves. And I'll tell you what, it turned out pretty good. This is actually a photograph that was taken when I wasn't quite finished. And I don't want to say that I completely eradicated all of these marks, but I got it down to the acceptable point where you barely can see anything. So, I had a lot of trouble actually turning this watch into the light. Here it's wet, but I had to turn it in all sorts of angles to try and catch the final bits of the polish. But there's a mark and you can see it, but boy, is it really teeny weeny. It's almost unnoticeable. So I'm extremely happy with how this turned out. So this turned out really well. The long scrape is gone. There's just a little mark or two that you can see, but only if you concentrate very hard. So my advice to you, if you've got some scrapes and that they're bothering you, is go get a Cape Cod cloth and engage.